Welcome back from the break. I hope you're ready to carry on learning. It's very exciting information or topics that we are covering. So let's have a look. Okay, so we have had a look at our key concepts. We've had a look at the different human or ancestors or hominins. We've had a look at how they evolved. We looked at genetic evidence. We looked at fossil evidence. We looked at cultural evidence. We looked at the fossil sites. That's very important in Africa. We looked at the cradle of humankind, which you need to know. And now what we're going to look at specifically is the out of Africa hypothesis. Okay, so there are two different theories. The one is called a multi-regional theory, where they believe that humans emerged or evolved in different regions all over the world. And then there's the theory where there's a lot of evidence for it that we call the out of Africa hypothesis. And right at the beginning, when we started with evolution, we spoke about the difference between a theory and a hypothesis. And the out of Africa hypothesis then has quite a bit of evidence, and each time new fossils are discovered in Africa and elsewhere in the world, it actually adds to the evidence that we have for this hypothesis. All right, so the out of Africa hypothesis is basically an evolutionary theory of modern human origin. Okay, so that's important. It is of where humans came from. And what is important in this hypothesis is that you actually know what the hypothesis is. So that basically is a theory of human origins, of where we originated from. And then also you need to know the evidence that we have that supports this hypothesis. All right. So basically this theory suggests that modern humans originated in southeastern Africa. And dispersed throughout the rest of the world, replacing existing human populations in Asia, which was Homo erectus, and in Europe, which was Homo neanderthalensis. And then the evidence suggests that modern humans, which are Homo sapiens, left Africa somewhere between 120,000 and 60,000 years ago. Okay, so that is the hypothesis, or the idea. And so now we look at, well, that's the theory, and that now we go and look at the evidence that supports that theory, that then makes it more accepted. Okay, so if we have a look at the map here, we can see, if we have a look, let's first have a look at the key over here in the corner. We can see all the areas that are colored in red, or the path there in red, is Homo sapiens. So that was where they came, where they were, and how they moved, where they started and where they moved from. And then we can see the more mustardy color, if you like, was Homo neanderthalensis. Oopsie. Was Homo neanderthalensis, and then the yellow area was those that were where Homo erectus lived. All right, so if we have a look over here, we can see that this is where we've said, where we believe that humans, modern humans originated about 200,000 years ago, and they started to move north. So there you can see they moved northwards, going up into the other areas of Africa. And what happened there is, and remember we said at the beginning when we spoke about human evolution, and we said very often it was climate that caused human evolution, or drove human evolution to take place. And so as soon as climate changes occur, then there would possibly be a change in the environment. It might have become drier, it might have become colder, there might have been a shortage of food, there would have been more pressure from predators, so they would have had a lot of threat possibly from predators, and that then caused them to actually move and go and look for more habitable areas, and maybe where there's more food. All right, so we can see the red arrows. So once they'd gone into North Africa, they crossed over and then went into the Middle East, and then, so that was about 100,000 years ago, and then moved towards Africa, towards Europe from Africa, spread out in Europe, there into the middle of the continent, and then down into India, and here into Siberia, that area, and then slowly on made their way down to Australia, New Zealand, and there you can see that's about 50,000 years ago, and here to New Zealand 1,500 years ago, and then carried on through Asia and moved across to the Americas about 15,000 years ago, down to South America, and so eventually humans were found all over, or Homo sapiens were found all over the world. All right, so let's have a look at the evidence for the out of Africa hypothesis, and very important is fossil evidence, and here we have to have a look at important wording, where we say Ardipithecus fossils were found in Africa only. They were found nowhere else in the world, and they lived about 4 to 5.5 million years ago. And then the second group is Australopithecus, and those fossils were also only found in Africa, and those are the examples. So only those fossils were only found in Africa, nowhere else in the world. Then the oldest fossils of Homo, so those of Homo habilis and other bipedal organisms, were also found in Africa. Okay, and here we can see this is Homo habilis, and then we also see that the oldest fossils of Homo erectus, so in other words, those fossils of Homo erectus found elsewhere in the world were a lot younger than the fossils of Homo erectus that were found in Europe. All right, and then we've got here a phylogenetic tree showing the possible evolutionary relationship, and here we can see we've got Paranthropus africanus, it gives rise to Australopithecus, and so we have the Homo groups that are emerge, and so we end up here at the top with Homo sapiens. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson. I hope you took all the hints and the tips that are required for exam purposes, and we'll see you again next time.